Hi, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Great, man. All right. So shoot me a text, shoot me a chat saying hello so I know that you're here. And all righty. So I'm going to put you into 5 groups. There's 5 problems. And then we're going to do the problems. So go into your group for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll go over them. All right. You know the problems that are up there, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. How's it going, guys?
Going well.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah.
Do you know the answer to the other questions too?
Yeah.
Good. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any suggestions, comments?
Nope.
How's everybody enjoying school?
It's good.
I'd say average.
Average?
Not terrible.
Good.
How's it going, Professor?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good.
Where are you?
I'm at home right now. I don't live too far away, so.
Cool. So how's the work going here? Are we getting the answer?
Yep,
The answer, yeah.
you got it.
The answer is $747.26 for a $1,000 discount, 6% rate of return, 5-year maturity.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. Being in Connecticut, were you in Connecticut during the times the towers went down, or were you overseas still at the UK?
Was I in Connecticut?
Like when on 9/11 back in 2001, were you in Connecticut or were you over?
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you know anyone that worked at the towers?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I knew there was a guy actually that I had known, friend of the family I had known all my life, but yes, so I did.
Every day.
Sad day.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
Great, man. How about here?
It's going all right in this group.
Do we know the answer to the question?
We think we do.
Does anybody have any questions?
Our first exam is on Wednesday.
No. It's
Not?
too soon to have an exam. I'm not even caught up yet.
All right. Cool.
You guys are way ahead of me, man.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'll just wait a week or two and make it really, really hard.
Nah, don't do that.
Why?
Guys, we don't like hard things. We want it as easy as can be.
All right. Michael, you're going to have to get out of bed.
All right.
Sorry, man.
How you doing?
Great, man. How about you?
Complaints?
You guys have the answer?
I think so.
Yeah.
How's everything going?
It's going.
Pretty good.
Does school suck?
Not yet.
Not yet, huh?
Tougher online, but we're getting through it.
Say it again?
It's tougher online, but we're getting through it.
Yeah, this is hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm open to ideas, whatever you think might work. I'm going to try and start to do a little bit more asynchronous stuff. In other words, I'll just record what I want to say, and then you can watch it whenever you want. We don't have to meet so much face to face.
Okay.
But I just need some time. I don't even have time to scratch my rear end,
Do we have an exam next week?
No,
Okay.
No, I'm gonna wait a week or two and make it really hard.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Is only $12.
Yeah,
so
I
I feel
know.
like that'd be
I guess it tricked me up a little bit.
How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Great, great. What's going on, man? Do we have any questions?
I think we're doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the answer to the question?
Are we supposed to do all 5, or were we just assigned 1?
Well, I mean, in the perfect world, yeah, you would do them all. But for today, I'm only going to ask somebody from your group to answer the question when we go back to the real big group. But in the meantime, I wanted to ask you, does anybody have any questions?
What question are we going to be asked?
What group are you?
Okay, so we're 5, so 18.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
How's school? Does it suck yet?
Kind of.
Online classes are a little different, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody got any ideas on how to make this better?
um,
We have like examples of like different problems and solutions.
Well, we have the 5 that I just circled that you all are working on, right?
Yeah, I just mean like random other ones.
Oh, you want more?
Well, not more, but just some stuff we could compare it to.
Yeah, you can do any of the problems and ask me if you're doing them right or not, if you want to
Okay.
do that. For extra work, for extra practice.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to bring us all back together.
okay.
Oh wait, have we figured out 18?
Everybody back?
Yes, sir.
Okay, couple of things that came up while I was visiting your rooms. No, we are not going to have an exam as it says on the syllabus. Okay, we're still trying to wrap our head around trying to, figure out how to make this whole Zoom online synchronous class thing work. So let's just give it a few weeks, and we want to get some more chapters under our belt before we have an exam, right? So we're not going to have an exam next week. And I've asked each of you, I think, in the groups to, for suggestions of how to make this better, our Zoom experience here, and how to better. Well, for me, what's difficult is I don't feel I'm engaging you, I can see some of you doing other things and, not that interested. And I can't say that I blame you, really. So one of the things I thought I would try to do is do more videos of, the things that I want you to learn so that you can watch them when you feel more suitable, when you have a more suitable time. And then we meet like this less. You know what I'm saying? But I have to do that. I mean, I have to carve out the time to make the video, and and it feels like I'm playing catch up all the time. So but that's an idea that I have, and I'm certainly welcome to any of your ideas. Either shout them out or shoot me an email or whatever you think is best. Okay? So those are the points that came up in individual groups. Now that we're all together, I would like to discuss these 5 problems that we just did. As you know, probably, if I have told you or not told you, or other students have told you, I generally choose exam questions from the problems from the textbook. So it's worthwhile to know what the answers are. So who had number 14? What, did my computer freeze? What happened?
Wouldn't the present value just be 1,000 of the security?
So the present value of 1,000, at 1,000, it's a security. It's gonna. So you want somebody. Think about it like this. Somebody's going to sell it to you. They're going to give you $1,100 in a year, $1,200 in year 2, and $1,331 in year 3. How much is it worth today?
1,000? Or is that all right?
Well, I think it's gonna be worth perhaps more than 1,000 today.
3,000.
3,000, Cole? Is that you?
Yeah.
Brendan, what do you think?
3,000.
Michael Mandola, what do you think?
3,000.
Okay, thank you for getting out of bed. The present value of a security that pays $1,100 next year, $1,200 the following year, and $1,331 the year after, with an interest rate of 10%. So you're getting $1,100 in 1 year, discounted back by 1 plus 10%. $1,210 discounted back by 1 plus 10% squared. And $1,331 discounted back 3 years. So you're right, it's $3,000. How about number 15? When I was in the group, one of you shouted it out. I don't remember who it was.
We said the answer was 747 and 26 cents.
All right, that's right. Thank you, Brooklyn. Present value of $1,000 discount bond with 5 years to go. Yield to maturity 6%. So you just discount $1,000. 1 plus 6% raised to 5, 747.26. Very good. How about number 17? No,
So,
number 16, sorry.
Yes, we got $8,930,211.23.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody get something else? James Johnson, what did you get?
I didn't do that one yet. I only
No?
did 17.
You what?
I only did 17.
Okay, we'll come back to you then. Anybody else with number 16?
I got 7,472,581.72 cents.
7 million. So Carrie's got more money than you. How about somebody else? We could take the best of three.
Can Carrie say what her answer was again?
Yeah, 8,930,211. David, what do you think?
I had question 15.
What?
I didn't have this question.
Oh. What question did you have?
15.
Oh, we already did that one. Okay, so Carrie is correct. We're discounting back $2 million payable immediately. There's no discount. Payable next year, discounted back by 2 years. Payable in 3 years, in 4 years, and in 5 years, right? 8,930,000. All right, so we just said number 17. Was that you, James?
Yeah, I had 17.
Oh, rock on. Okay, great, man. What'd you get?
Negative 0.24%.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Is that normal?
If it's like a time of stability, it can be because treasury bills, they have like low interest rates.
Yeah, but negative?
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
No, I don't know. What does anybody else think?
At first, I thought it was typical, but I don't think that banks normally pay more than the face value of a discount bond.
No.
Although interest rates are negative in certain countries, that has been a thing.
Yeah. It has, yeah. It's not normal though, but it has been a thing. So we do the math, right? $512 is the present value and the $5,000 is the face value of that bond, right? Discounted by 1 plus the interest rate. They're asking us, what is the interest rate? Well, if you do the algebra, right, it's 5,012 times the 1 plus I. So you solve for I, it's negative 0.24%, which is normal. No, it's not normal. It's very unusual. You would buy this bond and give them more money than they're going to give you back. Yeah? Only because, well, who could tell me? Why would somebody do that? You're going to give them $5,012 and then collect $5,000. You would only do that because anywhere else to put your money might even be more risky. Yeah? So you need a place to put your money somewhere, and you want the least riskiest place, right? You don't want it to lose even more than the $12 you're losing on this one. Okay? All right, the last one. Yield to maturity on a simple loan. Hang on. Hey, yield to maturity on a simple loan. $1 million requires a repayment of $2 million in 5 years' time.
I got 14.9%.
Yeah, excellent. Anybody get something else? Does that sound right? Do people remember how to do that? You're solving for the interest rate, right? How many can't remember how to do that? It's been so long.
Could you go over it again, just for me?
Yeah. Of course. I'm just trying to bust chops here, you know? I'm trying to be a hard-ass teacher. It's obviously not working. Yield to maturity on a $1 million requires $2 million payment in 5 years. You have $1 million is equal to $2 million discounted by 1 plus I raised to 5 years, right? So you can swap this and this, and you have 1 plus I raised to 5 equal to 2. The solution to this would be, of course, this is the 5th root of 2, right? 1 plus I, so 1 plus I is equal to 1.1486. So I must be equal to 14.9%. When I wrote this morning, I forgot to put the 0.9 in there. So remember, we did that? You did that a long time ago, right? Everybody did that, learned how to do that a long time ago. Everybody cool?
Yes, sir.
Let's start chapter 5. The behavior of interest rates. We won't do too much. The behavior of interest rates. We examine overall level of nominal interest rates, how it's determined, what influences its behavior. We have seen very big swings in interest rates over the years. It was over 15% in the 1980s. Now, close to 0, right? Money's free almost. Remember that bond prices and interest rates are inversely related, right? So we want to identify the factors that affect the demand for assets. We draw supply and demand just like in economics. In the bond market, identify the equilibrium interest rate. What affects the equilibrium interest rate in the bond market? So we're going to use some portfolio theory to understand the demand for assets. Describe connection between bonds and the money market through the liquidity preference framework. Describe factors that affect money market and equilibrium interest rate. The effects of the interest rate on changes in money growth. What is that definition in the bond market? In any market, what does equilibrium mean? What does equilibrium mean in the economics, in the markets?
Like where the markets would clear.
Where the market clears, where supply equals demand. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Jake. Wealth, the total resources owned by an individual, including all their assets. The more wealth we have, the greater the quantity demanded of an asset. Very straightforward, right? The expected return. The return expected over another period on one asset relative to alternatives. If the expected return on an asset increases relative to alternative assets, then the quantity demanded of that asset will increase. We have risk, the degree of uncertainty associated with a return to one asset relative to an alternative. So we can define people as risk averse or risk seeking. If an asset becomes riskier, the demand for that asset will decline, right? Liquidity, the ease and speed with which an asset can be turned into cash relative to alternatives. The more liquid something is, the greater the demand. We want to be able to sell it, right? Theory of portfolio choice. Holding other factors constant, the quantity demanded of an asset is positively related to your wealth. The more wealth you have, the more of the asset you will demand. The quantity demanded of an asset is positively related to the expected return relative to alternatives. If something is paying a lot of return, you're going to want to demand that, right? The demand will go up. The quantity demanded of an asset is negatively related to the risk of the returns. If something's particularly risky, people will shy away from it. The quantity demanded of an asset positively related to liquidity relative to other assets. So you're going to want assets that you can easily get in and out of. Yeah, especially if you don't have an awful lot of wealth. You're going to want to be able to get in and out of your investments fairly easily. This is all fairly self-explanatory. Theory of portfolio choice. Response of the quantity of an asset demanded to changes in wealth, expected returns, risk, and liquidity. So if all these things go up, wealth goes up, we have more quantity demanded, expected returns go up, more quantity demanded, risk to other assets, then we have, if that goes up, then we have less of a demand. And if liquidity goes up, when we want more of that. So supply and demand in the bond market. At lower prices, which implies higher interest rates. Yeah, because we know the prices and the interest rates are inversely related. The quantity demanded of bonds is higher. Does that make sense? At lower prices, the quantity supplied of bonds is lower. Recall that inverse relationship between bond prices and interest rates. Let's look at demand first. Yeah, so we have the demand curve here, right? This is a $1,000 face value discount bond. As the interest rate rises, the price of the bond will go down. The demand on that bond will increase. So the price of the bond goes from $950 down, the demand increases from 100 to 200. If we look at the supply, if the interest rate is high, i.e. the price is low, firms will not want to issue bonds, right? If the interest rate is low, i.e. prices are high, lots of firms will want to issue bonds. So if the price is low, interest rates are high, if the price is low, that implies interest rates are higher. Firms are not going to want to issue bonds because they have to pay it back at a higher interest rate. Yeah? Makes sense, right? Does that make sense for everybody? The supply of bond is made up of people who want to issue bonds or borrow money. If the price is low, the interest rates are high. Look at the quantity is quite low. The demand for bonds is made up of people who want to borrow, who want to loan the money, right? If the price is high up here, that means the interest rate they're collecting is low. That means they're not going to want to demand them. The quantity is low. If the price is low, the demand for bonds, then the interest rate will be high. There will be a lot of demand over here. Makes sense, right? Market equilibrium equals occurs when the amount people are willing to buy equals the amount people are willing to sell. Bonds demanded equals bonds supplied. Defines the equilibrium or market clearing price. If bonds demanded is greater than bonds supplied, there's excess demand, price will rise and interest rate will fall. Let's go back. Demand is greater than supply. This is demand is greater than supply. The price of these bonds will go up and the interest rate will go down. Conversely, if the supply is greater than the demand, the price of these bonds will fall and the interest rates will go up. Yeah, until we reach market clearing equilibrium. And that's exactly what this says. Excess demand, price will go up, interest rate will go down. Excess supply, price fall, interest rate will rise. Shifts in the demand for bonds. You guys remember from economics the difference between a shift in the demand curve and a movement along the curve? I got to come back. Sad for you. Who wants to volunteer to explain the difference between the shift in the demand curve and a movement along the demand curve? Y'all had economics, right? With Wilson or Todd Moe. I never got to see Todd Moe teach. I would have liked to see Todd Moe teach. He was always sort of kind of a great guy. He was a great guy. He's gone though. I mean, he went to Illinois.
I'm not sure if I could explain it the best, but like it shifts like along the line when it like the price like changes instead of a shift.
Yeah, that's great. And then what about if the curve, we don't call that a shift because
It's like a,
it's a movement along the curve, right?
yeah,
So what about a shift in the curve is actually moving the curve?
it's like, I can't think of like how to explain it, but like if there was like another product like that could shift the demand for it, or like I don't know how to explain it, but like I know like the reasonings for it.
Okay, good. I don't know how to explain it either, and I'm the teacher. So let me try. The movement along a demand curve, up and down a demand curve, is a reflection of a change in price because price is on the axis of the graph. A shift in the demand curve, where the actual line moves from left to right in terms of quantity, is a change in anything that's not on the graph, like demand of other products, yeah, substitutes, or your wealth, or availability, right? If there's a hurricane or something that wipes out the sugar market or the orange juice crop, those things are not reflected as if the price is reflected. Price is on the graph, so a movement along the curve is a change in price. But a movement of the curve from side to side is something that's not on the graph, something other than price. Okay? Where are we? Let's see, shifts in the curve. Back to the thing here. This thing here, slideshow, resume. Damn, wealth. In an expansion with growing wealth, demand curve for the bonds is going to shift. The whole curve moves. Expected returns, higher expected returns in the future lower the expected return for long-term bonds, shifting the curve to the left. Yeah, reducing the quantity demand. Expected inflation, you increase the expected rate of inflation, lowers the expected return on bonds, causing the curve to shift. Notice these things are not prices or interest rates. An increase in the riskiness of the bonds causes the demand curve shift to the left. Liquidity results in the demand curve shifting to the right, right? If you perceive that the bond is much easier to sell, yeah, there's more liquidity, then that will shift the demand to the right, okay? What's next? Oh, so this is a shift in the curve. Yeah, price of bonds, inflation, higher prices, houses, cars, risk, liquidity. Oh, look at this is even better. Oh, damn, this is a pain in the ass. Yeah, so this is a change. These are the different variables. An increase in wealth increases demand. An increase in the interest rates reduces demand. Expected inflation reduces demand. Riskiness of bonds relative is going to reduce demand. Liquidity of bonds relative is going to increase demand. All right. So what slide is this? 13. 13, we stop at 13. All right, everybody. I hope you all have a good weekend. Don't do anything I'd like to do. And if anybody has questions or comments or suggestions about the course, I'm happy to try to make this a better experience for us. Okay? All right, everybody. Let's have a nice weekend.
Professor, do you plan on staying on campus for a little bit longer?
Till about 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Why?
Thank you.
Just
Have a good
curious, hey,
weekend.
You want to come by?
Maybe I'll stop by, say hello.
All right.
All right. We'll see you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Nick. You too.